Diamond Group of Institution, Diamond PU Science College.
Next, we are going to study the combination of cells connected in series, and next, combination of cells connected in pair. So, what is meant by a cell? A cell which converts chemical energy into electrical energy, and this cell is having EMF as well as internal resistance. So, what is the symbol of EMF? E. What is the symbol of internal resistance? R. And here, this is the circuit symbol of a cell. This is positive terminal and this is negative terminal. And here we have taken two cells, both are connected in series combination. See here, A to B and B to C. And this we can see here the mathematical expression for potential difference V equal to E minus I into R. V means potential difference, E means EMF, I means current, R means internal resistance. So first we are going to calculate the potential difference between these 2 points A and B, and before going to that, what is the current symbol is I, and this current is flowing from negative terminal to positive terminal. We can see in the figure. And next, here there are two cells. First cell having internal resistance R1 and EMF E1, and next EMF E2 and internal resistance R. But what is the potential difference across A and B? Here it is. VAB equal to VA minus VB. VA minus VB. The potential difference is measured between the 2 points A and B. That is called VAB. Similarly, B to C. The second cell is in between the points B and C. So we can write VBC equal to VB minus VC. So what is the terminal potential difference formula? V equal to E minus I into R. So here E minus I into R, whereas E indicates E1, current is same, and what is the internal resistance? R1. So we can write it as VAB equal to E1 minus IR1. What is the same here? Current. What is different? E1 as well as R1. Similarly, VBC equal to VB minus VC. So VBC equal to E2 minus IR2. In both the cases, the current is same. And in both the cases, EMF is different as well as internal resistance is also different. But actually we want the potential difference across between A and C. But here VAB and VBC is there. But actually we want is VAC. A to C, what will be the potential difference? So we can write it as VAC equal to VA minus VC. But we have the values VAB and VBC. But here there is no value regarding VAC. So we can write it as VA minus VB plus VB minus VC. That means we don't know the value of VA minus VC. For that purpose, we are adding and subtracting VB. Minus VB plus VB. If they get cancelled, again we are going to get the same answer, VA minus VB. So VA minus VB value is how much here? E1 minus I into R plus E2 minus I into R. So finally, we are calculating the potential difference across the two cells connected in series between the points A and C. So that's a VAC equal to E1 minus IR1 plus E2 minus IR2. So we can see here VAC equal to, take EMF one side, E1 plus E2. E1 plus E2. Take minus common and I also common. equal to E1 plus E2 minus common, current also common, R1 plus R. So E1 plus E2 minus I into R1 plus R. So this is the potential difference across the points A and C when two cells are connected in series. Now, instead of these two cells, whatever the EMF, whatever the internal resistance they have, we are removing these two cells and we are replacing a single cell having internal resistance Req and having EMF Eeq. That means equivalent EMF and equivalent resistance between the points again A and C. And what is the current here? I. So same expression, same formula, if you apply to the same diagram, we can write it as directly VAC equal to, what is the EMF here? E equivalence minus, what is the current here? I. What is the internal resistance? Req. So this is equation number 2. So this formula we applied to equivalent diagram. But here two cells are having EMF E1 and E2. But we remove these two cells, we replace with the equivalent circuit. So if you compare these two equations, equation number 1 left side VAC and equation number 2 left side VAC. So both left hand sides are same. If you compare the right handed side, we can write directly E equivalence equal to write E1 plus E2. Equivalence of EMF equal to sum of the individual EMFs. Next, equivalent of internal resistance, again the sum of the individual internal resistance. So E1, E2 are different individual EMFs. R1 and R2 are the individual internal resistance. So this Req equal to R1 plus R2 and this E equivalence equal to E1 plus E2. So this is the final expression for the cells connected in series. So what is the final formula? Equivalence equal to E1 plus E2. That means sum of the individual EMFs is equal to equivalent EMF and sum of the individual internal resistance is equal to equivalent internal resistance connected in series. Cells connected in parallel. In last session we discussed cells connected in series. Now cells connected in parallel. Here there are two cells having EMF E1 and E2 and having internal resistance R1 and R2 connected between the points B and C. And what is the main current here? I1. This current I1 is divided into two branches and it is flowing from negative to positive direction. What is the first branch current? I1. Next branch current I2. So we can write here I equal to I1 plus I2 because the sum of the individual currents is equal to main current. So first cell having EMF E1 having internal resistance R1. Second cell having EMF E2 and having internal resistance R2. And we can see here the points A, B, C, D. So there are two ways, there are two directions here across between points B and C. In between these 2 points we are calculating the potential difference. So this is first cell and this is second cell. For first cell V equal to VB minus VC. Similarly for second cell V equal to VB minus VC. See here VB minus VC for first cell. VB minus VC set for seconds. So V equal to VB minus VC. Just we know the formula. Terminal PD. V equal to E minus I into R. So we are writing here V equal to E1 minus I1 into R1. Here current is dividing. So that's why I1. And for second cell, V equal to E2 minus I2 into R2. So here second branch current is I2. And this formula, this information regarding the first step and this information regarding the second step. What is the formula? V equal to E1 minus I1 into R1 and V equal to E2 minus I2 into R2. So this is first cell. See here E1, EMF, R1 and current is I2. Here EMF, E2, current I2 and internal resistance R2. So if you calculate the value of I1 here, so minus term becomes plus. If you take to the left hand side, I1 into R1 minus 3. Same step, I2 R2 becomes E2 minus V. So I1 becomes E1 minus V divided by R1. Next, I2 becomes E2 minus V divided by R. Here both are multiplied. If you take this R1 right side, it goes to denominator. So I1 equal to E1 minus V divided by R1. I2 becomes E2 minus V divided by R2. So we got the values I1 and I2. If you substitute in equation number 1, I becomes E1 minus V by R1 plus E2 minus V divided by R. I E1 by R1 minus V by R1 plus E2 by R2 minus V by R. E1 by R1 minus V by R. E2 by R2 minus V by R. If you collect these two terms one step, E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2. Next, minus common, V common, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So if you take LCM, I becomes E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2 minus V into R1 plus R2 by R1 into R2. So take this minus term left hand side and take this I right hand side. So V into R1 plus R2 by R1 R2 E1 R2 E2 R1 R1 plus R minus I. If you take this value right side and divide, we are going to get E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. Next, minus I into R1 into R2 by R plus R. So equation number 2. And see here, we can see there is an equivalent EMF and equivalent resistance, internal resistance and in place of these two cells we are using the equivalent EMF and equivalent interrupt resistance between the points B and C. So we can write the expression directly. V equal to E equivalence minus I into R equivalence. Equation number 3. So here, if you compare these two equations, E equivalence becomes E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2, and R equivalence becomes R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus. So E equivalence becomes E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2, and R equivalence becomes R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. So this is the expression for equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance when the cells are connected in parallel. Finally, we came to the rest of the topic in our current electricity chapter, Kirchhoff's laws. And Kirchhoff's introduced two laws called Kirchhoff's first law and as well as Kirchhoff's second law. And this Kirchhoff's first law is called KCL and Kirchhoff's second law is called KVL. KCL means Kirchhoff's current law and second law KVL means Kirchhoff's voltage law. As already we studied regarding Ohm's law, and in Ohm's law we studied the relation between potential difference as well as the current, and as the potential difference increases, current is also increases, and that Ohm's law is applicable only for certain conditions, and it is also applicable only for the simple circuits. But whereas the complicated circuits, that Ohm's law is not applicable. So regarding the complicated circuits, the Kirchhoff's law, first law as well as the second law we can apply, and we can see the statement of Kirchhoff's first law. See the statement: in any closed network, the algebraic sum, that means the total sum of the currents at a node in an electric network is 0. Once again, I am repeating the statement. In any closed circuit, in any closed network, the algebraic sum of the currents at a node in an electrical network is 0. What is meant by a node? Here, see the diagram. This point, at this point, more than one wires are coming to meet at a particular point. So that point is called node or junction. Once again, at this point, more than one wire or more than one conductor or currents, they are meeting, they are approaching at a particular point. That point is called as node or junction. So here, this law explains regarding the current. See the diagram here, network at point O, I1, I2, I3, I4. There are 4 different currents which are approaching towards O, and some current is going away from the network. So here, if you apply the Kirchhoff's first law to this network, we can see here whatever the current which are moving towards the junction, they are taken as positive, and whatever the current which are going away from the junction, they are taken as negative. See here, I1 is approaching towards O, and I2, be the current, is moving towards O. That means I1 as well as I2 both are taken as positive, and I3 is going away from the junction, as well as I4 is also moving away from the junction. So I3 as well as I4 are taken as negative. So here you can see that the total sum, that means we should add all the current, and that should be equal to 0. So we can write this as I1. I1 is positive because towards the junction. I2 is also positive towards the junction. but I3 becomes minus because it is going away from the junction or node. Next, I4 is also going away from the node, point O. So we can equate to 0. I1 plus I2 minus I3 minus I4 is equal to 0. So we can write it as, in another way, I1 plus I2 becomes I3 plus I4. I3 is negative. If it goes this side, it becomes positive. I4 is negative, it also becomes positive. So here we can say, using this relation, we can state in another form like that: I1 and I2 are approaching and I3 and I4 are leaving. That means the current which is entering the junction, the total current which is entering the junction is equal to the sum of the current which is leaving the junction. In this way also we can state the Kirchhoff's first. See here once again, I1 taken as positive because it is towards the node, and I2 is taken as positive because it is towards O, and I3 is taken as negative, it is going away. I4 is taken as negative because it is going away. So what is the actual formula? Summation of I equal to 0. That means the total current is equal to 0. I1 plus I2 minus I3 minus I4 equal to 0. I3 plus I4 equal to I1 plus. So the sum of the current which is entering the junction is equal to sum of the current leaving the junction. And here the main is the current. This law is explained regarding the current. So here the significance of this Kirchhoff's current law is conservation of charge. Kirchhoff's second law, or it is called Kirchhoff's voltage law. The statement is, in a mesh, the algebraic sum of the EMF is equal to the sum of the products of the current as well as the resistance. And what is meant by a mesh? The closed path for the flow of current is called as mesh, or it is also called as loop. So in first law we read node. That means there is a particular point is called as node, but here there is closed circuit to flow of current, that is called as what? Mesh or loop. So in a mesh, the algebraic sum of the EMF is equal to sum of the products of the current as well as the resistance. And here there is a simple illustration and how to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law to particular circuit. And before going to discuss this Kirchhoff's voltage law, there are two important rules we are going to see here. See the point, EMF is taken as positive if it moves in the direction of increasing potential. Increasing potential means negative to positive. Negative to positive, it is taken as positive. And here negative, if it is moves in the direction of decreasing potential. And see once again, EMF is taken as positive if it moves in the direction of the increasing potential. Taken as negative if it moves in the direction decreasing potential. If it is increasing potential, positive. If it is decreasing potential, it is taken as negative. And one more point is that the regarding current and resistance, the whatever the product of current and resistance is taken as negative if it is in the direction of the current, and this product will be taken as positive if it is opposite to the direction of the current. So once again, see the most important rules here. EMF is taken as positive, and we are taking positive when we are taking as positive if it is moving in the direction of increasing potential, and we are taking negative, EMF taking as negative if it is moving in the direction of decreasing potential. Here increasing potential positive, decreasing potential negative. Here the current direction, in the direction of the current, the product of the current and R is taken as negative. If it is opposite to that of the direction of the current, it is taken as positive. And see the diagram here. There is a closed path called mesh. See the first mesh A, B, E, F, A. It is called closed path, means whatever the point we are taking starting, and the closed point will be same. So we are applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law. That means Kirchhoff's second law to a mesh A, B, E, F, A. A, B, E, F, A. And see here, I2 into R. See here. We are moving like this. A to B. So we are going in this direction, and the current direction is also same here. So that's why I1, that means I2 into R2. I2 into R2 becomes negative. Why it becomes negative means we are going from B to E, and the current direction is also same. So that's why it is minus. Next, E to F, and when we are moving from F to A and see the direction of the current, it is also in the same direction. So that's why the sign becomes minus. And what will be the product? I1 into R1. I1 into R1, that is also minus. And see the EMF. The current is moving in this direction from negative potential to positive potential. See here, EMF will be taken as positive if it moves in the direction of increasing potential. So that's why it becomes plus E1. So totally it becomes 0. Once again, see the example. B to E, direction of the current is same. So if the direction of the current is same, we are going to take it as negative. So minus I2 into R. Again here, F to A, I1 into R1. Again the direction will be same. So that's why it becomes minus. And why it is plus here? Negative to positive. That means increasing potential. So therefore the EMF becomes positive. Same situation, we are applying to the one more mesh B, C, D, E. Starting from B, again the ending point is also B. B to C, D, E, B. So here the current direction is decreasing potential because positive to negative. So that's why we are started with minus. So what is the EMF value here? E2. Next, here again the current direction, in the direction, whatever the current direction is there, see here I3 into R3, it is same in the direction of the CD. We are moving from C to D, the current direction is also same. So what will be the answer? Minus I3 into R3. And next come to the E to B. So E to B, we are closing the path E to B, but here the current direction is opposite to E to B. So that's why we are taken as plus I2 into R. This becomes 0. So these are the rules, and this is the example how to apply the Kirchhoff's law to a complicated network. And see the final point. The significance of Kirchhoff's voltage law is the law of conservation of energy. So in first law, what is the statement of Kirchhoff's first law is that the algebraic sum of the total current entering through a node is becomes 0, and here the algebraic sum of the EMF as well as the product of the current and resistance is equal. So this is the example, and these are the illustration rules regarding the Kirchhoff's voltage law, and what conserves here law of conservation of energy in case of second law, and regarding first law the law of conservation of charge. Whetstone network. This Whetstone network is used to find the ratio of the resistors, or it is also used to determine the unknown resistors. And see here A, B, C, D. There are 4 points, and the main current is I. This current I is divided into two branches, I1 and I2, and this I1 moving towards point B, and from B, and that current is again divided. This is I3, and here the galvanometer. What is the current which is passing through the galvanometer is IG, and the current, final current is I4. That means there are 4 branches of current I1, I2, I3 and I4, and P, Q, R, S. These are the 4 resistors connected here, and we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's first law as well as the second law, and using those 2 laws we are going to find the final result, that is the balancing condition for the Whetstone network. And see here, condition for balance, applying Kirchhoff's first law or KCL to a node B. See where is point B here. So already we studied the Kirchhoff's first law. That first law says that whatever the current which are coming towards the point taken as positive, and whatever the current which is leaving the junction taken as negative. So here at point B, observe that I1 direction is towards B, and I3 and IG is going from B. So we can write it as I1 equal to I3 plus IG. That is equation number 1. See once again, at B node, I1 is towards the B, and I3 is away from B, IG is also away from B. So I1 equal to I3 plus IG. Say it is applied at node B. Similarly, same Kirchhoff's first law we are applying at node D. At D, I2 is the current which is moving towards the node D. Similarly, IG is also approaching towards D, but whereas I4 is going away from D. So I4 equal to I2 plus IG. So what is the first equation? I1 equal to I3 plus IG, whereas the second equation I4 equal to I2 plus IG. So now we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's second law to a mesh ABDA. See here, A, B, D, A to B. We are going from A to B. The current direction is same. Already we studied the how to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So here the current direction is same in this direction. That means A to B. So that's why it is taken as negative. And what will be the product of the current and resistance? I1 into B. A to B is what? Now from B to D. B to D, the current and direction is again same. So that's why we can write it as minus. What is the current? IG. What is the resistance? G. Next, D to A. D to A, the current direction is opposite to the path. So that's why it becomes plus. I2 is the current. What is the resistance? R equal to J. ABDA, loop or mesh. See once again, A to B. We are going from A to B. The current direction is same. Then we are taking minus. B to D. Again the current direction is same. That's why it is minus. D to A. The current direction is opposite. So that's why it is taken as positive. Same Kirchhoff's voltage law we are again applying to a mesh B, C, D, B. B, C, D, B. So we are going from B to C. The current direction is same. So again minus. So what is the current there? I3. What is the resistance? Q. Next, C to D. C to D, the current direction is exactly opposite. Current direction is opposite. So that's why it becomes plus. And what is the current? I4. What is the resistance? Yes. Next, we are going from D to B. That means we are closing the path D to B, but here the current direction is again negative. That means opposite direction. So we are going to write it as positive. See, once again, D to B we are going, the current direction is opposite. So it becomes plus. What is the current here? IG into G becomes 0. So this is equation number 3 and this is equation number 4. So first two equations regarding the current and second two equations regarding the current as well as the resistance. That means these two regarding first law, and for these two measures we applied the Kirchhoff's voltage law. To balance this network, we are going to take the current which is passing through the galvanometer 0. Ig equal to 0, so that the network will be balanced when the current flowing through the galvanometer becomes 0. So if you substitute Ig equal to 0 in equation number 1, it becomes I1 equal to I3. In equation number 2, I4 becomes I2. So wherever Ig values are there, each and every value becomes 0. So remove Ig and remaining equation write as this. So I1 equal to I3, I4 equal to I2. So what the equation 3 becomes? This term becomes 0 and this minus term goes to that side, it becomes positive, plus. So I1P equal to I2R. This is equation number 5. Next, 4 implies this value becomes 0 and this minus goes to that side. So I3Q becomes I4S. See once again, Ig 0, I1 becomes I3, I1 becomes I3, Ig 0, I4 becomes I2, Ig 0, so minus term goes to this side, so I1P equal to I2R, and this is here the term becomes 0, this minus goes to this side, it becomes positive, I3Q equal to I4S. So if you divide 5 divided by 6, we get I1P equal to I2R, equation number 5, I3Q equal to I4S. This is equation number 5 and 6. Now we are going to divide equation number 5 divided by 6. We get I1P by I3Q equal to I2R by I4S. But from equation 1 and 2 we can see I1 current is equal to I3, I4 current is equal to I2. So I1 as well as I3 will get cancelled. Similarly, I2 as well as the I4 is also will get cancelled. So what is the remaining value is P by Q equal to R divided by S. So this is the balancing condition for Whetstone. So what is the final answer? P by Q equal to S. So finally we recall once again. See here, first law at B, I1 equal to I3 plus Ig. First law at D, I2 plus Ig equal to I4. Next, second law at ABD, APDA, AB negative, BD negative, D to A positive. See here. Next, BCDB, B to C negative, C to D positive, and D to B positive. So to balance, we taken as the current whatever passing through the galvanometer is 0, then the equation 1 becomes I1 equal to I3, I4 equal to I2, and I1P equal to I2R, I3Q equal to I4S. if you divide 5 by 6, I1, I3 get cancelled and I2, I4 also get cancelled. So what is the final answer? P by Q equal to R by S. So this is the balancing condition for whetstone network.
ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಾಗಿ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಳಾಸ ಡೈಮಂಡ್ PU ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್, ಬಾಲ್ಕಿ